Hello, everyone. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to That Park Place Midweek Magic here with Vash and Marv. I am the aforementioned Marv. I am the editor-in-chief of a little website called thatparkplace.com, and I am joined from the Vash Sky Park cast with the one and only Vash Sky.
Thank you so much for that lovely introduction there, Marvin. Yes, an amazing array of news here on Midweek Magic, as you were calling it. And I think that's an appropriate title because, well, some things were magical, other things were not. We'll go into it, get into it, all of that and much, much more. By the way, you can find me at Vash Sky Podcast, which will be premiering, well, after this show right here. So stay tuned to the entire show right there. You don't want to miss our whole block of coverage right here. Marvin, take it away.
What's strange to me, Vash, is like, talk about magical. I mean, like, I think some people have magical protection against them because they can fall 50 feet off a terrible attraction and manage to not even be hurt.
Absolutely extraordinary. I mean, it was really a crazy story. We'll get into it with much more detail, but thankfully everybody is all right, and maybe that might explain the somewhat perhaps light tone he might have from it, because thankfully everybody's okay.
Yes. No one was hurt, so now we can joke about it. But let's get to the people first, Vash. There's a couple super chats out there. That packing protons for $5. Disney has gotten to a point where their first thought is, how can we monetize this? Hey, how can we monetize a teenager falling off of Splash Mountain or Tiana's Bayou Adventure? Let's be real. This never happened in Splash Mountain.
That's true. Yeah. I think Ron actually posted on X saying, I'm surprised this doesn't happen more often with Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Can't necessarily blame him.
Juliet for £2 says, evening, That Park Place and chat. Good evening to you, Juliet, our wonderful mod out there. Archer Merchant for 10. Won't Iger articles about Apple passing actually hurt the brand confidence? And I've seen some shill articles saying Gunn must be safe. He met with the Ellisons, but that was before the bomb projections. Okay, so let me take these one at a time.
Please.
Iger articles about Apple passing on buying Disney. I don't think that hurts brand confidence because you kind of have to look at it in terms of like everything with Apple changed when Steve Jobs died.
Right.
Yeah. Everything changed. The entire vision of the company changed. So I don't really think that hurts brand confidence. But
and I think he detailed that once Steve Jobs did pass away, like he was interested in pursuing that when Steve was alive. Then when he passed away, even Iger was like, I don't know if this is going to necessarily work out. So not just things change within Apple, but things change within Disney as well.
So as a writer of one of these supposedly shill articles that you're talking about, I did write about Gunn meeting with David Ellison. And yes, it was before. It's all going to matter about like how this is performing monetarily. And remember, James, at this point, I think it's just basically like Ellison wants to know what they have in the pipeline. That doesn't mean they're going to continue working together after next year, because James Gunn's contract ends next year, and it's going to be whether or not he decides to re-up it. At this point, we are seeing James Gunn is doubling down on literally everything that he has done. He is clearly in his mind made zero mistakes with DC. He is doubling down on Millie Alcock as Supergirl. They've said that she's going to be a major part of the thing they're doing after Man of Tomorrow, so she's going nowhere. He apparently doubles down in this movie on the most divisive plot point of the Superman film, which was the reason why Kal-El was sent to Earth. The motivations of Jor-El and Lara Lorvan, which everybody was hoping would be retconned. No such luck there. So we will see, guys. We will see. But Supergirl is set to be a major, major box office disappointment. They are talking about 38 million to 50 million. So if it lands anywhere in that, it is lower than The Flash. If it lands above 47. It's above the Marvels, but a lot of it is below the Marvels. So we will see if it can even perform up to the level of the Marvels, Vash.
That's like, I think, 50 is like half of what Mandalorian just did, and that's, what is it? That I think Mandalorian had a cheaper budget as well. So it's kind of like...
Yep.
this is not looking too good for the DCU there.
Nope. Magical Girl Jonas for $1.99 checking in says, I wish for a magical and shiny day for all. Thank you, Magical Girl Jonas. We appreciate you and your
Thank you.
magical girl ways. But Vash, we have got a pretty steep story for our opening this week. Let's get to it because it might be our launch story, guys, but there was a major incident in Disney that people are going to be talking about for quite a while. Let's take a look. A near disaster was averted in Disneyland this week when a teen exited his vehicle on Tiana's Bayou adventure just before the 50-foot plunge, falling down the massive drop, and miraculously was unhurt. And the end of it. We're going to talk about it today on That Park Place. Vash, this is one of the strangest, wildest stories I've ever heard.
It is absolutely strange. I remember reading about it first on Monday morning, and I was so taken aback by it, I was like, wait a minute, hold on a second. Disney Scoop, never heard quite that website before. I had to make sure this is not satire, make sure this is not felonious in any way.
Yeah.
Did some investigation, and all the reports corroborated each other, which is very interesting. And it was days before we actually got that video out that this was actually, confirmed. But there was some back and forth here because of just how wild and crazy this sounded. A lot of people not necessarily wanting to even believe that this was even possible. I know Scott Gustin, he was a little cagey with his updates as well from Disney officials. So, they were, it was so wild and crazy that nobody wanted to admit.
Yep. This right here says a frightening incident at Disneyland has raised new questions about guest safety after a 13-year-old boy exited a ride vehicle on Tiana's Bayou Adventure and went down the attraction's iconic 50-foot drop. According to Fox News, the incident occurred on Sunday evening in Disneyland's Tiana's Bayou Adventure, the log flume attraction that replaced Splash Mountain in 2024. And here's the actual footage, Vash. Let's take a look at what exactly happened here. This is obviously footage shot from a phone off of somebody's phone. So let's see. So right here's the log. And then here's the boy right here. So let's have a look at what happened. Good Lord. The way his body hits. It's like a rag doll.
Yeah. There was some discussion.
Right there, hits his head, and then just slide. And that's not like a smooth slide either. Isn't that like have grooves in it and stuff?
It does have grooves in order to create that kind of... rapids effect going down. That's the real scary thing about this. Now, it occurred in a manner that is very interesting because a lot of people were saying, at least for the people who actually saw it and were actually providing their stories online, they were saying that the boy tumbled or maybe have gotten feet first. The fact that he went head first down, pretty wild and crazy stuff. Now, here's the thing, Marvin. The drop and fall isn't your worst fear. Your worst fear is maybe perhaps that boy being knocked out, right? And then maybe, something happened with that body of water down below. But even beyond that is another vehicle actually coming in behind it. Now,
thankfully they were able to hit the emergency stop as quickly as possible. But so it looks like he's trying to climb out feet first.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then just hits right there and then just goes sliding down.
And then is dragged by the log right there. This is why, there are myriad reasons as to why you should keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the vehicles at all times. But to get out at this point right here, it is... unbelievably dangerous situation. Now,
all you really now in the Disneyland version, because in the Walt Disney World version, you just have a shared lap bar.
Yes.
So, with the shared lap bar, I am a great deal larger than my wife. So, when we go on Tiana's Bayou together, which is rare, she could probably slip right out if she really wanted to.
Right.
But this is a single rider, so this is different.
Yes, it is single, but there is no restraint system currently in place at Disneyland Splash Mountain.
Really? There's no lap bar?
There's no lap bar. There are no seatbelts. There is no restraint system of any kind.
It used to be like that at Walt Disney World. You used to just have a thing you could hold on to.
Correct. This line of thinking changed, I think, beginning in like the year 2000 or so. There were allegations that maybe Disney would actually install some kind of safety mechanism for this particular attraction right here.
Right.
Actually, I think the conversation back then was over-the-shoulder restraints. Now, Disney didn't end up doing that. There were two things that did change, though. One was clearly defined separators between seats. That had never been something that was implemented at Disneyland's Splash Mountain. It was just kind of like a single log, basically, back in the day, or like a single bench that you straddle. That changed with the update. I want to say around 2011 or so, but I could be wrong about that. I'm trying to get my dates correct. Now, the big thing operationally that changed around that time was that you had a cast member actually stationed at the base of the lift hill. Some actually have it at the top of the lift hill, which is interesting. I think they tried that configuration for a while. But at the base of the lift hill, there is a cast member stationed permanently right there with a view of a monitor, actually looking at the apex right there, and hand over the emergency stop. And I believe that's what saved this boy's life ultimately. Because
good thing they were paying attention,
right
because in a situation like that where you're probably looking at the same screen every day and never having to take action ever.
Right.
Now, I can't believe. Why would you not even have a seatbelt?
Well, so the cast member being stationed there was a compromise, right? And the reason why is because this ride was already low capacity to begin with. Then when they changed to a single file configuration, it even was reduced in capacity even further. And so the idea was, okay, well, if we had a restraint system, that's going to take this attraction to a crawl. So let's go ahead and try to avoid that with safety procedures on the back end there.
And then by doing that, we got this.
Well, yes. Well, I will say, I mean, this attraction's been open since 1989. This is the only time I've ever seen this occur. And it's.
I'm amazed that it's the only time it's ever occurred, because
right.
If people can climb out, I'm shocked. Well, I think it's the only time it's ever occurred, like in this specific spot. But I'm sure people have climbed out at other times in other areas. We've heard of people getting out of the logs before, like
and people
in the attraction.
Well, and people have crawled out of the logs at Walt Disney World's version with restraints. So it's not to say that, and just like you beautifully pointed out there, Marvin, because it's a single lap bar and shared, right? It doesn't make for a completely perfect system that people can't shimmy their way out. I remember covering in that park place actually. Maybe it was last year around this time when a father and son actually deboarded themselves from the logs right before the kind of skipping falls laughing place scene, or I guess it's Tiana's by adventure equivalent is the miniaturizing scene. They got out right there. So the thing is even though it's kind of crazy that this doesn't have a restraint system, no restraint system I think is going to be perfect. And that's the thing, if they implement something on this, which a lot of people are afraid of, this will take ride capacity down to, I wouldn't be surprised if it was sub 1,000 levels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, I mean, yet another reason, Vash, why the switch from Splash Mountain was, so ill-advised, because on Splash Mountain, you're having such a good time at this point, you're not climbing out of that log.
That's very true. And well, here's the other thing, Marvin. You see, you jest, but somebody was actually bringing up the fact, and I kind of believe this, that the tone of going up that lift hill was much darker back in the day. So the idea being that if a kid was going to get out, maybe they do it sooner rather than later. It's an interesting idea. It's an interesting theory. Obviously, there's no way to measure that.
So it's a 13-year-old. We don't know yet if he was like special needs or anything like that. Like, could it be possible that he got scared at the last second, tried to bail before the drop, and then just was too late?
Yes, and there's also social media reporting out there that suggests that maybe the parents actually stated that he was being reckless and trying to maybe jump from one log to another. Now, again, those are unconfirmed reports right there. So I want to go ahead and be very clear. We haven't confirmed that at that park place. I haven't confirmed that reporting, but there are at least reports out there that indicate something like that. Whatever the case might be, the fact that this child right here, 13 years old, was jumping out at the apex of this lift hill, I mean, unbelievably dangerous, and very, very lucky that he's still with us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. He's okay, obviously. Like, not hurt, not even hurt. Released from the hospital already, from what I understand.
Saying minor scrapes and cuts. Taken to the hospital as a precaution, released that day.
Okay, keeping in mind that he's fine, how great must that picture, that ride photo be?
You know, it's funny you say this. There were some Imagineers saying something similar. They would pay top dollar for that ride photo.
Because I'm sure it exists. I'm sure it didn't pop up on the thing. Because there's somebody who literally, like, they sit there to make sure you're not doing anything untoward on the ride photos. And if you are, like, you know, like I know a guy who, like, held up, like, a championship belt going down, right, and his picture never appeared.
That's unfortunate.
Or like somebody holding up like a trophy or something like that in celebration, and yeah, the picture never popped up because they kill them when you know.
They used to be so fun, right, Marvin? The most famous one that I remember off the top of my head was the guys playing the GameCube. Mm-hmm. So you had one guy with a controller, one guy with a controller, one guy holding up the GameCube, another person holding up like a cardboard TV, showcasing what they're actually playing. Pretty imaginative stuff.
The last time my wife and I went down it, we took the picture, literally the two of us like this.
Oh, yes.
It's just so boring. Though I will say, I went on this ride once 3 times in a row. Mm-hmm. Tiana's Bayou adventure. Mm-hmm. I was with Jay and X-Wing. Mm-hmm. And we were at after hours, and there was literally nobody in line but us. And so they kept being like, hey, do you want to go again? And Jay and X were like, yeah! And I'm like, no. They really liked it. X-Wing was like, oh, I don't see anything wrong with that ride. And I'm just like, what?
Were they familiar with what it replaced?
Yeah, no, I think so. Yeah, I think, like, at the end of the day, I guess when you look at it without comparing it to Splash Mountain, you can find some enjoyment. But, oh my goodness, I can't.
Tough stuff.
Yeah.
This was a harrowing event right here. A lot of people were very, very scared. I know I saw some reports out there where a lady, like, screamed, actually having seen it at the time right there. I'm just thankful that everybody is okay, and it's going to be interesting to watch this particular attraction and what it means, not just for this ride, but for the entire industry, right? Because if in fact this is a serious issue and Cal OSHA comes down on Disney because this investigation is pending currently, it could mean that, hey, you do get some kind of restraint system with this log ride. And what does that mean for other log rides around the country with such a notable incident? That is yet to be defined.
I remember when I was a kid and I went down Splash Mountain for the first time at Disney World, they didn't have a restraint system. And I remember asking, like, why? Like why am I not strapped into this? There's going to be this massive drop. And, yeah, it was... I don't understand why, like what, like, you know what? I think we actually have a clip that is pretty perfect for this.
You didn't. Well, of all the cheap, lousy ways to save a buck.
Strap people into your rides. So witnesses. Disney has not released details, nor will they, about how the incident unfolded. The witnesses who discussed the situation online painted a dramatic picture. According to Fox News, several guests reported seeing the boy slide down the attraction's steep final drop before emergency personnel arrived. One Reddit user who claimed to be riding the attraction at the time said passengers witnessed the teenager fall moments before the ride came to a stop. Another commenter wrote, he attempted to exit the ride vehicle at the top of the final drop. The ride stop mechanism failed to engage or was already past the threshold for the vehicle to enter the free fall. I think that's probably true.
Yes.
That hasn't been independently verified, but I think it's probably true. Tiana's Bayou Adventure remained closed for the rest of Sunday evening before reopening the following day. Disney has not indicated the attraction experienced any mechanical malfunction. Based on the company's public statements, the incident appears to have stemmed from a guest exiting the vehicle while the attraction was in operation, rather from a ride failure. That distinction is likely to be important as more details emerge. But even if the attraction functioned as designed, many fans are asking the obvious question, how was a guest able to exit the ride vehicle so close to the attraction's final drop? Well, we know the answer to that because they're not strapped in. Tiana's Bayou Adventure utilizes a traditional log flume ride system that relies heavily on riders remaining seated throughout the experience. So yeah, guys, keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the rides at all times, or you might be getting one of the single craziest ride photos that has ever been experienced in Walt Disney World. Absolutely insane.
I again, like when I first read about it, this is long before the video came out. First read about it, I was like, "There's no way. This is impossible. How could this possibly have happened?" Yeah, it absolutely did.
Yep. Dan's Life at the Kingdom, member for 23 months, says, how did that kid survive? I don't know. I'm thankful that he did, but we have no idea. I am legitimately shocked that, he did not get seriously injured. Like, especially when you saw the way, like, his head hit or, like, the way his body slid. Like, like spinal injuries could have been a thing. Like, so many things could have gone wrong. Archer Merchant for 5 says, thanks for the comment. To clarify, earlier I consider your articles unbiased. I was referring more to Variety screen reactions to him being safe after the bomb. Yeah, I mean, with the contract up in the air next year, he's never going to be safe, especially if this movie performs as poorly as they're saying it's going to perform. And then, I mean, honestly, this is going to be, I think, the thing that matters the most for his renewal, because Man of Tomorrow can't be the thing that decides it, because I believe his contract expires right around the time Man of Tomorrow comes out, if what I know about that. But man, oh man, this movie is going to be, I'm seeing it tomorrow afternoon, and I'm just not looking forward to it. Ken Reinhardt for 2 says, remember when just Bazungas came out of the locks? Yeah. People like to do, that's why they have the person sitting there.
The infamous Flash Mountain.
Flash Mountain?
Mm-hmm.
Well done.
That's what they used to call it back in the day.
Well, I mean, also you had the guy that held up, like, the political sign.
Yes.
And I hate that. Look, I don't care who it's for. I hate that. Like, whether it's for Trump, whether it's for somebody else, like, don't hold up political signage at Walt Disney World or Disneyland or any vacation destination. People are there to try to, like, and this is the thing. We always talk about escapism, and how we're never allowed to have escapism anymore. And that goes both ways. That goes to both sides of the aisle. Like, I don't want to hear about, divisive politics in my, theme park attraction, nor do I want to see political signage for the other side of the aisle. I don't want to see politics at all. It's why they don't sell newspapers on Disney property. You're supposed to be there. There are 2 items that are not sold in Disney property, Vash. Do you know what they are? Well, you know one of them.
Bubblegum and what else?
Newspapers.
I guess so.
Yeah. Those are the 2 things. I mean, obviously now we have phones, but yeah, it was always bubblegum and newspapers were not sold on Disney property.
Maintaining the magic within the berm. Both those.
Yep.
The intention there.
So yeah, don't hold up political. Like that guy draped a banner over Main Street USA.
Oh, well, he
why
also,
do you feel the need to do that?
He unfurled a large sign on the side of the Mark Twain on the show side right there.
Yep.
Oh my goodness gracious! It's
Horrible.
like, what are you doing? And how did that get through security?
Just Jay for 5 says, guests climbing out during the ride is how the Matterhorn got its cold spot that spooks the CMs. Vash, I'm going to need an explanation on that.
Guests climbing out during the ride is how the Matterhorn got its cold spot. Well, I have not heard quite that before. I know that back in the day, you used to have kind of tandem seating there, and the occupants were actually held in by a seatbelt that could be disengaged at any time. Now that proved fatal for one woman who was actually thrown from a Matterhorn bobsled without having her seatbelt engaged right there, and she was, from what I understand, not in great shape, but did survive until an oncoming Matterhorn bobsled ended that, unfortunately.
Gosh, that's terrible. Well, so apparently, I guess Pro has set a goal for us today for 20 super chats of $5 or more, and if we hit it, it just says epic Caro song saga. I guess that means we'll play the Caro song multiple times.
I guess that's what it means.
All right, well, you guys have it. I guess I can't play the Caro song for you unless we hit that goal. Now, I also have the intro, because we were playing. The reason we played the Caro song last week on the Friday show was it was just me and Caro, because Jonas was away at ICC Con with Pro, and so I played our intros because I do intros on the M4cast. Now, my intro has been getting some pushback from people lately, Vash, because they say I make myself look too cool, and while I mock others in theirs, I don't ever like mock myself. And you know what? There might be some there might actually be some truth to that. For instance, I could show you the Lorne Connor intro from the M4cast. Just loading it in right now. Well, first I'll show you mine. It's epic, right? Here's Lawrence.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
So, I have taken the criticism.
Okay.
And I have created a new Marv intro. There you go.
Beautiful.
There you go. I get attacked by a bird. So
it's so Marv. It's perfection. I love it. It really does.
It is. Every time I try to do something cool, I end up getting attacked by a bird. So here you go. One more time.
I love that Park Place taking place of the Daily Planet.
Yeah.
Pretty good touch right there.
That was what I tried to do for a nice touch there. But also...
Love that one.
That one's like picture perfect. Oh my goodness. All right. So we have got to get to our next story. And it's going to be a bit about Epcot, about World Showcase. We're going to go through an article that was put out recently that struck a specific chord for me, because it is something that I scream about all the time when it comes to Epcot. And it's the amount of screaming drunk people involved at Epcot. So let's take a look at our next scoop.
There we go. One more for the top. Triple decker, just how you like it.
Wow, thanks, Mr. Wong.
You enjoy it.
We will.
Epcot has become kind of a sore spot for a lot of people, because when the sun goes down, Epcot is not all about the family fun anymore. No, it's about alcohol. It's about high-priced drinks. It's about getting sloshed in the middle of a children's theme park. Well, people are finally starting to notice. They're finally starting to push back, and we're going to talk about it today on That Park Place. Mash, this is from www.info.com. And Tim Carlson here with this article published just yesterday. Can we be honest about Epcot's World Showcase? Yes, please. I still love World Showcase. Honestly, that might be part of the problem. Most Disney fans love World Showcase. The festivals are fun. Grabbing food from different countries is one of the best experiences of Walt Disney World. And spending an evening wandering around the lagoon with friends never gets old. I agree on all those points. There is something timeless about popping in and out of the different countries, listening to live music, or having a special drinking around the world day with friends. It remains one of the most unique places in any Disney theme park. But because all those things are true, I think we sometimes ignore an uncomfortable reality. World Showcase may be one of the most beloved areas of Walt Disney World, but it is also one of the areas most in need of attention. For years, the festivals have done a tremendous job of masking some of the underlying issues. I think that's a great point.
Yes.
Yet when the festival tents come down and you look at the pavilions themselves, many have changed very little in decades, or if they have changed, it's been for the worse. For longtime Disney fans, there are entire sections of World Showcase that feel either frozen in time or semi-abandoned. And of course, perfect picture right there, the Morocco Pavilion. I mean, that has been, since Disney took over the Morocco Pavilion from the Kingdom of Morocco, it has been, they have changed so many things for the worse.
It's crazy. The declining by degrees for the Morocco Pavilion specifically, when you reference that right there, it's crazy how much that has just deteriorated.
Now, he says the most obvious example is Morocco, and honestly, it's the one that hurts the most. There was a time before COVID when the Morocco Pavilion felt like one of the most immersive places in all of Walt Disney World. Not just in Epcot or World Showcase, in the entire resort. The detailed architecture, winding alleyways, beautiful mosaics, and authentic merchandise made it feel like you had truly stepped into another country. Today, it doesn't have that energy. While many of the original details remain beautiful, the pavilion feels like it has lost some of its identity. Restaurant Marrakesh, once the signature experience, the pavilion sits as a temporary annual pass holder lounge. Some of the refreshments they have made, like new tile on the fountain at the center of the pavilion, feel like cheap Home Depot tile rather than the authentic mosaics that made the pavilion feel so real at one time. And all of this has resulted in a pavilion that no longer feels like the crown jewel it once was. 100% correct. But the issue extends beyond Morocco. The United Kingdom Pavilion was once set to receive a Mary Poppins attraction that would have been an exciting new update to the pavilion. Of course, that project disappeared. Germany never received the boat ride that was part of the original vision for its pavilion. Italy remains beautiful to walk through, but for repeat guests, there's very little that has changed over the years to create some sense of excitement or discovery. Canada has a similar challenge. The pavilion itself is stunning, and the updated film is certainly an improvement. I do not agree that it's an improvement. But it still lacks something that makes guests say, we have to go there. It's a gorgeous setting, but if guests are wandering back there, then Disney needs to give them a reason to. Now, before the comment section lights up, yes, there have been investments in World Showcase. France received a major expansion with Remy's Ratatouille adventure. Norway was transformed and Frozen Ever After and has continued to see improvements with upgraded cinematics. China received a refreshed film experience by the Chinese government. These projects are all welcome additions and proof that Disney can still deliver meaningful updates when it chooses to. The problem is that those successes highlight how little attention some of the other pavilions received. A handful of countries have carried most of the momentum, while others have remained largely unchanged for generations of guests. Some have not seen a truly impactful addition since the day the park opened. There's often a lot of speculation about Epcot adding a new country like Australia or Greece, and while those would be awesome pavilions, I hope they start by just making the countries that are already there better first. World Showcase should be a place that evolves. It should continue finding new ways to celebrate culture, tell stories, and give guests reasons to explore. Instead, too many pavilions feel like they're surviving on nostalgia and festival traffic rather than offering compelling experiences on their own. More than anything, though, I hope Disney finds a way to bring Morocco back to life. At its best, the Morocco Pavilion represented everything World Showcase was supposed to be. It was immersive, authentic, beautiful, and endlessly explorable. If Disney can restore that spirit, it would not just improve one pavilion, it would send a message that World Showcase is once again a priority. I agree with a lot of this, Vash. I really do.
Yeah. And it's crazy to think, because this park just received probably near around $1 billion worth of investment with Guardians of the Galaxy, with the changes to obviously the entrance to Epcot itself right there, to Harmonious, Luminous, all of these investments made for this specific park right here, and the back half is unbelievably underwhelming, and in some cases has eroded since it's once great high. Like for example, that Morocco example that you actually pointed out right there, the Home Depot tiles, so true. Remember, Marvin, the Imagineers actually went to the Morocco Pavilion to be specifically inspired for Galaxy's Edge. That's how kind of transcending that was right there, how kind of otherworldly it was. And yet we just simply haven't seen that level of investment. If we look at like the France Pavilion or Norway Pavilion, people might, argue, do characters necessarily fit in these different places? But it has given those pavilions new life. And I think that's what is being illustrated here. We just haven't seen that carried out throughout the entire World Showcase.
So in the excuse me, in the France Pavilion, I don't actually find that Ratatouille like bothers the overall feel of the pavilion that much. The area is in the back. The attraction is tucked into the back. They've added a crepe shop, which is very, very French. And the architecture all seems very, French inspired. And, the thing about Ratatouille is it's a movie that takes place in France. Meanwhile, you go over to the Norway Pavilion, and it's just half of that pavilion now is Arendelle.
Yeah, which is
you've got a restaurant that's more about the princesses than about Norwegian cuisine. You've got a bakery, you got a gift shop, and you've got the little like church that has all of the Norse mythology stuff inside of it.
Right, which is
then
really
you
good.
have the attraction is Frozen, which does not take place in Norway. It takes place in Arendelle, which is inspired by Norway. And then right next door to it, you've got the Anna and Elsa meet and greet and a Frozen store, and all that area is just Arendelle. Like, I remember when that first opened up, I remember walking into that store, and I remember one of the cast members goes, "Hey, welcome to Arendelle." I said, "I thought I was in Norway." Like,
wow, they really want that to be Arendelle, don't they? Oh my goodness gracious. It's really disappointing to hear, because obviously, with Maelstrom and all of that, I think that the pavilion was far more cohesive under that structure. But obviously, with this, necessity to put IP into every single crack and crevice, well, there you go.
Well, that's
and
the-
speaking on, okay, please.
they're saying that we can't we have to upgrade them. That does not mean put IP in it.
Right, ideally, yes.
Yeah, go ahead, continue.
Ideally. No, and on that point, there was, not just the Mary Poppins thing for the UK, which would have been, I think Ken Reinhardt is pretty spot on about that.
Yeah.
Didn't look maybe the most ambitious thing, but there was talk of putting Coco into the Grand Fiesta Tour back in the day, and we do believe, amongst kind of Disney enthusiasts there, that the plans for Disney California Adventures version of Coco might have been actually lifted from those plans to put it in Epcot originally right there. So there have been ideas and concepts, worked out for some of these pavilions, but never anything that had the trigger pulled on them, which is very, very interesting, Marvin. Why do you think it is that Disney necessarily hasn't invested in these specific pavilions? Is it to work out with the countries, or what do you think is going on here?
I can tell you exactly why. Because they don't have to. Because the people that are flooding into World Showcase and spending money don't care. They only want the drinks. Because when you're drunk, it doesn't look that bad. So they've got, they like, some things do change. You go, well, the Mitsukoshi department runs, obviously, a lot of the Japan Pavilion. Or
Right.
the Mitsukoshi company. And so you go in the Mitsukoshi department store, it changes all the time.
That's
New
true.
merchandise, new displays, new experiences, new food. And that's great, but that's because it's an outside company doing it. Which, the thing is, I don't think they see World Showcase as a celebration of the world anymore. I think they see it as a celebration of how much we can charge people for overpriced drinks.
Do you think that we've seen a demographic shift in World Showcase, in which previously you had tourists? Well, yeah. Well, it's kind of like, as these festivals have become far more important or prioritized by the company, it's kind of like, okay, well, this is just the area for pass holders who are less concerned about the actual lands themselves and more concerned about what's on offer in terms of food and drink. Is that maybe what's going on here?
We used, I absolutely agree with that. We used to have one festival of a year, right? And it was the International Food and Wine Festival. It was a big draw in the fall months where things were a little lighter for Disney. And then suddenly it was like, hey, let's have a festival every month. Let's always have a festival. There's maybe like a 3-week period now in Walt Disney World where like there's no festival. And that's it. The festivals are, the article hit the nail on the head. The festivals are masking the issues with World Showcase because they are offering new things. Sometimes they're offering new things. They offer rotating things because a lot of times the festivals are the same thing over and over again. I believe one of the festivals this year, actually Flower and Garden had a lot of new stuff this year, which I was very happy to see. But like Food and Wine, it's the same stuff every year pretty much.
Right.
So yeah, no, I think you hit the nail on the head there too. It's fine to have the characters in there too, but when you start injecting too much IP into them, it stops being about the country anymore. Like I don't think kids are going into Showcase the way I went into World Showcase as a kid, with a desire to learn about the various countries. Like I can't tell you the last time I saw a kid asking the World Showcase cast members questions, which is what I did when I was a kid. I always wanted to find out, like, oh, well, like, what do you guys do in your country for Christmas? Or, it's a wealth of knowledge right there. That's why the cast members are representatives of those countries, because they wanted to make it an authentic experience originally. And now I think it's just like, hey, we can get really cheap labor from overseas.
Right. And cheap labor from overseas combined with the Disney College program, probably.
I always feel so bad for the ones in the Germany pavilion, because I'm like, man, like you're like a 2026 college kid, and you're coming all the way over here to work in a fast food restaurant wearing lederhosen.
That's a good point. It's a good point right there. There have been talks about a Brazil pavilion featuring a Disney concept that may have been in production at one point, kind of a Jack and the Beanstalk, take on that fairy tale, which was very, very interesting right there. We've heard
the movie, right?
Yes, yeah. That
that was Spain.
Was it Spain? Yeah,
it was Spain.
Probably.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah. But I've heard about a Spain pavilion too. I've heard Spain. I've heard Brazil. I've heard Africa. I've heard Greece. I've heard so many different things. Right.
Yeah, and it has never come to fruition. And I suppose part of that is getting the countries on board, right, in order to sponsor those pavilions, or maybe a company within those countries to give it that authenticity that maybe the Imagineers intended back in the 1980s. It's really sad to see that the deterioration of a lot of World Showcase, not even just like the maintenance of it, right, and things feeling stale, but actually deteriorating because of the lack of investment here. Really, really is sad to see.
Yep. Oh, interesting. Okay, I might have to. Okay. I just saw something that I think we need to highlight. But okay. Yeah, no, I am 100% with you. I think that, and by, it's easier to add a new booth at a festival than it is to add a new, pavilion that's a permanent structure. So like you'll see, they'll have a Korea booth one year, they'll have a Spain booth, a Greece booth, an India booth, and you're able to kind of sample the stuff from that country without actually having to build out, a full pavilion. But I think that it's really more about the drinking now. It's more about and to the point now where, like, when you go after dark, it does not become a safe place for kids.
Yeah, that's very true.
The drunker people get, the less safe it gets. And I'm not saying like, unsafe in like, safety, like a physical safety kind of way. But I'm saying like, you're going to hear people screaming obscenities. You're going to have to explain to your kids why that grown woman in the mini ears over there is crying hysterically and sitting in the middle of the street. You're going to have to explain to your kids why that guy over there is puking into the bushes. All things I've seen, by the way. All things I've seen in World Showcase After Dark.
It's really, really sad. I was thinking more about the pavilions that they maybe have conceived or conceptualized, right? It's kind of like, okay, well, if they were going to spend, somebody, whether it be the country, Disney, or maybe a combination of both, were to spend money on investing a pavilion into World Showcase, would it necessarily get the traction, right, that say maybe a new attraction would? Or maybe that's why they've been focused on new attractions for the existing pavilions. I mean, half-heartedly, I'm guessing, and new attractions around Walt Disney World in order to get the best bang for the buck. But it is kind of sad to see this very corporatized entity not invest into something so grand, so ambitious as the original Epcot right there, and taking the path of least resistance with IP inclusion, with drinks, with festivals every single month of the year. Just man, it's just so far from 1982 Epcot, right?
Absolutely, guys. World Showcase is a problem right now. At least from those of us who remember what it was supposed to be and what it used to be. But in Disney's mind, I don't think it's a problem at all. I think they just see it for what it has become: a very big, very expensive, sprawling bar. All right, Vash. Let's go. Just Jay checking in for $20 says, to add on to what Vash said, the story is that the lady took off her belt to put her son's belt back on. The spot on the Matterhorn where she was hit is a cold spot that scares the CMs that check the track after closing.
Yeah,
So
okay.
It's haunted.
Yeah, well, I've heard of haunted stories before when it comes to various areas of Disneyland, especially around people who have unfortunately passed away. But the reason why he's saying story there is because there is some there are some that believe that there was a failure in her seatbelt mechanism that actually thrust her out there. But according to the official investigation, she unlocked it herself.
Yeah. Ken Reihart for 2. Not getting the lame Mary Poppins ride was a win. Honestly, I have to agree with that.
I do too.
It didn't look great, but it's just another. They were going to inject money into it. I think you were going to inject money into it. I don't know, make like a Buckingham Palace kind of thing. Like teach about England. There's very little educational stuff about England in the UK Pavilion. It's really just gift shops, fish and chips, and a pub.
That's true.
I guess that is kind of all you have to know, right?
Yeah, maybe you're right about that.
Yeah. They could really get into the spirit of it, and then if you're tweeting from inside the UK Pavilion, they could arrest you.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Not today, mate. I don't like that.
Good Lord, I can get so much worse, but this is supposed to be our G-rated show. Vash, I am going to deviate a little bit from our pre-planned stories here because we've got some breaking news.
Please.
Don't deck the halls just yet, folks. It was just announced that at the Grand Floridian Resort and Spa, the famous, fabled gingerbread house, the life-size gingerbread house that was not there last year due to construction, will once again not be present this holiday season. Is it gone for good? Let's talk about it today on That Park Place. Vash, this is insane. And this, just about 15 minutes ago, Scott Gustin had tweeted this out, saying the Grand Floridian Gingerbread House will not return this holiday season. Disney's culinary teams will create new miniature holiday displays for the resort. More details, including details about gingerbread displays at other resorts, will be shared later this year. This is horrendous.
That's crazy. This is absolutely... Go ahead, please.
We were told last year that this was not happening specifically because of the construction going on in the lobby. Well, that construction is over now. That construction is over. And this holiday tradition that was part of a lot of families that I know. It was part of their holiday tradition to go to the Grand Floridian and see the life-size gingerbread house. And now it's never, I'm telling you right now, it's never coming back.
No. Once you break it, that's it. It's over. I mean, and look at how many things that have never come back. Like, for example, the band that used to play up there in the bandstands.
Oh, the orchestra.
Over there at the Grand. In the Grand Floridian. Also to the Birdcage, right? They got rid of that for a bar right there. This is just... Marvin, I think you got to play a little bit of a Christmas Vacation clip that we have.
I think we do too. Wow, this is getting a lot of use today.
You didn't. Well, of all the cheap, lousy ways to save a buck.
That's what exactly this is about right here. Just saving costs. All this is.
It's vile. And you know what? I bet you it doesn't fit as well as it used to since they added that new bar in. Vash, let's take a look at what they sacrificed this for. The Grand Floridian lobby refurbishment. Okay. We got, new stuff there, new chandeliers, things like that, new furniture. But the biggie is the arrival of this bar that sits now in the lobby. The Grand Floridian lobby bar, The Perch, which opened back in November. Yeah, The Perch, because we had to get The Perch because we needed another bar. When, mind you, there's already a bar on the second floor of the Grand Floridian Resort lobby.
The Enchanted Rose. It's like there's already a bar. No, we had to do a second bar, and now we had to lose even more because of it right there. So we went from something that was, hey, you know what, we're going to go ahead and offer this gingerbread house that we're going to go ahead and fabricate and build and so forth. It's going to take a little finances to do that. Now we have a revenue streaming opportunity in the bar itself. So we traded one thing that cost the money for a thing that made the money. And for the company's sake and spreadsheet wise, Marvin, they're in great shape right now.
Yep. You know what? Here, I found a video of the completed perch, I believe. Let's have a look at this right now. Can you see that, Vash?
I sure do.
Kill that volume. So, yep, there it is. There it is in there. And so right over here is where the gingerbread house typically would be. I bet you they're like, well, there won't be enough room for people to be at the bar.
Okay, would it be so crazy as to make it smaller? Right? Is that something they could have accomplished?
I wouldn't even want it to be like, it was perfect the way it was. It was one of the few things. It was one of the few things they did every year that was just perfect. You get in line, you take pictures with it, you buy you buy gingerbread and cookies and stuff like that from inside the gingerbread house. It was awesome.
Absolutely. And it's so haphazardly placed as well. It looks like an addition. It does not look like it. It belongs as part of the overall look or scenery right there. Of this like very wooden structure amongst all of this obviously Victorian white, crown molding all around you. It's just...
The Enchanted Rose. I think it's called the Enchanted Rose. I know it's a Beauty and the Beast theme bar. It is literally like right here. Like right here on the second floor.
Right.
It's a full lounge. But instead, in here, look, there's kids in this lobby, and you just want adults to be able to sit down and drink alcohol.
It's not even a good... okay, if I was going to choose any venue to sit on Walt Disney World property and actually have a drink, this would be the last place, in my view.
But you know what? You know another thing, Vash? The Gingerbread House promotes resort hopping. And I think they're trying to stop resort hopping because they've made it so inconvenient now. You can't go to any of the resorts from Disney Springs anymore.
Right.
You have to to go to the Grand Floridian, you would have to probably take the bus from Disney Springs to the Magic Kingdom. Which it's only a matter of time before taking the bus to the Magic Kingdom from Disney Springs is going to be requiring you to show a park ticket.
Or they just start charging for some of these services, right? Because I've had this conversation with Jared from Capture the Magic a couple times in which he's like, look, listen, you're going to have to replace that fleet at some point. It's probably going to be well over $1 billion. Do you do that with maybe the expectation that there's a potential revenue stream? In fact, you have ticket fares attached to some of that. I can see that, Marvin. I think we're getting into that territory as we speak here. And perhaps, this bar model may have been kind of this original way of thinking in which people do resort hop, and when they do, let's go ahead and offer them a drink. Maybe things have shifted wildly even since this was built.
Well, so now with resort hopping, because they're still going to want you to go to the resorts to visit the restaurants, right? They're still going to want you to go to 1900 Park Fair, go to Victoria and Albert's, especially Victoria and Albert's, Grand Floridian Cafe, places like that. But now they've made it So that you typically will have to then park at Magic Kingdom and take the monorail over, which means paying to park at Magic Kingdom.
But potentially, yes. That's a very astute observation right there. Now, maybe some of the security guards stationed at some of these resorts will let you in if you had a dining reservation right there. Maybe not. Not quite sure right there. But Marvin, we've also seen the influx of DVC towers, right, and DVC properties. But with those towers and with those properties, we haven't seen really a buildup of amenities with them. So, for example, like the Polynesian Tower, right, that was just recently added to, well, the Polynesian going back to 1971, right? When that opened right there, you added hundreds more in terms of capacity and rooms and guests there and all of that, but we didn't get another Captain Cook's, for example, right? I think we only got like one, maybe two bars right there, but a lot of the restaurant facilities and so forth, a lot of those people now have to look to the Poly in order to, well, to eat at their resort that they're actually staying at. Well, what does that do for the people already staying there? You see, it's a capacity issue. And maybe they just want to go ahead and eliminate a lot of that outside foot traffic in order to maintain those resorts for those paying guests. It's a possibility there, Mark.
It is 100% a possibility. I feel like I have to say my classic line again, Vash. It's kind of become my catchphrase here on That Park Place, is that people liked it, so it had to go.
It's a story that plays out over and over again, Marvin.
It really is. Like, it seems like everything that people love, everything that is popular, everything that is a part of people's like traditions and memories, they are determined to wipe it from the map to save $5. There's no excuse for getting rid of the gingerbread house. None.
Look, the Grand Californian has also done its gingerbread house every single year. In fact, I was actually stayed at the Grand Californian for the first time ever. Actually, the first time I ever stayed on property at Disneyland, which is crazy. But that was there. They had carolers. They had the tree. Yes, it was crowded. Yes, it was packed. Yes, it was busy. But they still made room to do it. Grand Floridian in a resort with the blessing of size and all of that, with a lobby that is pretty large, to not do this. And I'm sure they're going to say spatial regions is why, but to not have some kind of gingerbread house on offer right here, like you said, Marvin, breaks tradition. And maybe it is part of this new corporate mindset that maybe the Walt Disney World is not going to be as accommodating as people once knew it.
And yes, there will be gingerbread displays, they're saying, at other resorts, but Vash, those are nowhere near as impressive or as just, to use the phrase, magical as the Grand Floridian Resort gingerbread house. They're not. They're usually just like, carved images or something like that. They're never like a full blown house like this. Like, if you weren't going to do it at the Grand Floridian anymore, find another place to do it.
Yeah.
Build a gingerbread log cabin at Fort Wilderness. Do something.
Well, they probably couldn't do that because they can't maintain the air conditioning, so that's a risky proposition.
Not Fort Wilderness. I'm sorry, Wilderness Lodge is what I mean.
Oh, Wilderness Lodge. Yeah, sorry, that's
in the lobby. The lodge. I'm thinking about I always say Fort Wilderness when I mean Wilderness Lodge.
That's right.
By the way, Wilderness Lodge, phenomenal resort. I love the Wilderness Lodge.
Love it.
But yeah,
when the AC works, though. But no, you're exactly right. Right. If this was not going to be an option, like you said, Marvin, there are plenty of other resorts that you could have carried this tradition on. They're not even opting to do that. Oh, we'll just go ahead and have the regular festivities at all these different resorts. It's like, yeah, but you had this, and this was something magical. And so it's this ongoing degradation of this resort specifically, which is really, really sad.
You know what it is, Vash? I think I figured out exactly what it is.
And Dreamer's Point is the antithesis of the idea that Walt had this incredible optimism and hope for the future, that if we all work together and we all dream together, we could build the impossible and make it our reality.
Yep, it is the antithesis of that, 100%.
Absolutely.
I cannot believe, like, I saw this and I saw this while we were doing our previous segment. And that was when I said, like, there's another thing that we need to talk about, because I am, oh my goodness, it is just like, I saw this and immediately this was me.
This is Travis Disney.
Just I'm playing clips right now to hide how like ridiculously angry I am about this. But I mean, guys, so at the end of the day, Christmas is coming once again to the Walt Disney World Resort, but it's going to be a little less holly, a little less jolly, and a little less gingerbready this season than and it probably will never reach those heights ever again. How dare they?
Well, the cheap, lousy ways to save a buck.
How dare they? Like, seriously? That is absolutely heinous.
Sad. Not cool, Marvin. Not cool.
No, like, that gingerbread house, man, like, that was, like, it was... I don't know. I don't know who the heck is making these decisions. And, yeah, I didn't think that it wasn't going to come back. I legitimately thought that, okay, well, they're just taking a break for it this, while they're doing construction. It'll be back next year. All will be well. But nope. Not coming back. The one thing I forgot to do, I wanted to still get the comments on that. Because, yeah. You know what? Let's look at the comments anyway.
Yeah, let's look at the comments. We'll
look at the comments. Yeah, we'll look at the comments right now. It just won't be included in the regular video, I guess. So here we go. We have Scott Guston's. So it's probably to stop all the resort hopping of people who don't pay to stay at Deluxe, who act like they stay at Deluxe. Well, I agree, but I don't agree with the mentality of this tweet, of this response. I agree they're trying to stop resort hopping. Disney's cost-cutting strikes again. I'm disappointed. Gone for good. Very sad. End of an era. GIF right there. Shame, shame, shame. Be cool if they did one at Animal Kingdom Lodge. That's so lame. Death by 1,000 cuts. That's disappointing. Not cool. What a bummer. Lame. I have not seen one tweet yet defending this. Knew it, would guarantee you it's never coming back. It's a stupid bar they added in the lobby. I knew it left no room for the gingerbread house. Must not have enough complaints. It was missing last year and took that as an opportunity to cut the cost. I hate everything. Guess I got lucky and saw the last one. Shades of Epcot's Lights of Winter. When if the gingerbread was obsolete technology. How can we bully them to bring this back? This is messed up. The fact that we're renovating this hotel and not having it again, it's a miss for the holiday season. Terrible news. What type of BS is this? Probably won't come back at all. I guess there's no reason to resort hop. It's 100% gone forever. That is really disappointing news. This is sad. No good. This one says good riddance. So there you go. You got one finally.
Well,
riot and boo.
I just looked it up right here. Apparently, it's been a sculpture that has been done for like 25 years up until 2024 when it had its last year. This is a tradition dating back to 1999 right here. All this time. And now, pull the plug.
I am so mad. I'm so freaking angry right now. But what I'm not angry about is the FTM gifting 5 That Park Place memberships. Thank you very much, FTM. That is very generous of you, and congrats to everyone who got those memberships. We're gonna need a whole bunch more super chats though if we are going to play the Caro song, because we are only at 4 out of 20 at the moment. So
I want to hear that 8-second song.
I do want to hear that 8-second song. It's actually 10 seconds long. Ken Reinhardt says, you thought it was coming back, sweet summer child. Yeah, I really did. I never in a million years thought they were not going to bring it back.
It is shocking, but I think Ken Reinhardt brings up a great point. Maybe we shouldn't have been surprised, given this current management position.
Vash, you're going to be talking about this on the Vash Sky Parkcast today, because this is...
I might, yeah, because it's such a big deal. It is such a...
What a blow to the holiday season. And we're going to be talking a bit more about Christmas at Disney in a little bit, but yeah. Yeah, we're going to bring it up again. We're going to bring it up again in that segment.
You got it, Marvin. I'm here.
All right, you ready for our next story? Well, you know what? I need to get away from Disney, so let's take a look at what Dollywood is doing this year.
It's showtime! Straight from the heart of the park.
Dollywood is getting into the spirit of the season, the Halloween season that is, offering its first ever after-hours event this Halloween. Let's talk about it today on That Park Plays. Vash, this is an unexpected, but I think welcome move for Dollywood. Marks the start of a new fall tradition. This is going to be in Pigeon Forge. Tickets are now available for Dollywood's first ever event, Harvey's Boo Bash. Those waiting to check out Dolly Parton's theme park after dark will have the chance on October 16th, 23rd, and 30th. Marks the start of a new fall tradition for the park, which has long since marked the special time of year with the Dollywood Harvest Festival and Great Pumpkin Illuminates event. Harvey's Boo Bash will welcome guests from 9 p.m. to midnight and include exclusive activities. Among the fun planned are candy collecting stations and access to the recently delayed Night Flight Expedition ride, which was slated to open in the spring but had to be pushed back. In addition, guests will get to enjoy meet and greets with all of Dollywood's favorite Harvest Time characters, while 2 dance parties also take place during the evening, one at 9:30 p.m. to kick off the festive fun, and another at 11 p.m. for a late-night celebration, the park announcement said. The park will also be offering special merchandise during the bash. Tickets for Harvey's Boo Bash run $129.99 and are different from regular admission. A Boo Bash pass gets you in the door starting at 6 p.m. and offers access to the after-hour events. Season pass holders will get a $5 discount. Now, very similar to what Disney does for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, what Universal does for Halloween Horror Nights. This is Dollywood wading into the waters with the big guns here. And I think it's a great idea. I think there's a demand for this. I think Dollywood will be able to do like some real like festive, wholesome Halloween fun. Again, like if you really want like the scares and the horror and the gore, you go to Universal. And if you want the same thing that you've seen every year for the last 20 years, you go to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. But this is something brand new. I don't know how it is with Oogie Boogie Bash, but Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, there is nothing. The only thing that changes are sometimes you get a new snack.
I love how you bring that up, Marvin, because we're actually going to cover that on Vash Guy Podcast, going over Oogie Boogie Bash and how stale it's become, and maybe that's affecting ticket sales and demand for it. So that's really interesting. But look, the Halloween season or the Christmas season, those have been a boon to these various amusement parks and theme parks right there. Obviously, Mickey's Not So Scary. It doesn't change because, well, guess what, Marvin? It doesn't have to. So they keep, raking in those tickets right there. Obviously, the Christmas parties along with that, and to sell the parks multiple times right there. We've seen that kind of the facilitation of that change when it comes to the big two, but also to with those amusement parks as I was mentioning before. And Halloween Horror Nights, it's a category unto itself, right? Not So Scary Halloween Party, or I should say, not Scary Farm over there at California right there. That's been incredibly successful. So I like Dollywood bringing in an after-hours event for Halloween time and actually catering it towards families, because I think that is, outside of maybe Disney doing it, that might be something missing there in that general Sun Belt area, let's say, roughly speaking. And so I think it's really, really fantastic. They're trying to distinguish themselves there, offering a Halloween event, obviously, for monetary revenue purposes, but doing it in a way that really makes a compelling offer, compelling value.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look. I'm trying to find actual like pictures and stuff. So you go to the actual Dollywood website here. Look at this. That's pretty cool. That like spider jack-o'-lantern thing.
Absolutely.
That's neat.
I think the first time I ever visited Dollywood actually was during roughly Halloween time, and I thought it was really, really spectacular. I think it was really, really awesome. So the fact that they're really like dedicating themselves into this, maybe we get even more decorations on offer. Maybe meant for like this party, but stuff that the regular guests can enjoy, along with new amenities offered for this party. I think it's gonna be really, really cool.
Now, I am, I was interested in Dollywood recently. I don't get to go that often, probably like once a year, usually, maybe twice a year. But it is probably my favorite theme park out there. Is just like there's just something about it, right? Like there's just something about the atmosphere that kind of really puts you at peace. It just kind of gives you that like wholesome feel good kind of mentality that I feel like you used to get from Disney. So, but now check it out though, only 3 nights. So if you guys want to go to this, I mean, I'm assuming it's going to probably sell out. So make sure you try to get your tickets early for that. But let's take a look at some of this. What do you get with your admission? Admission to Harvey's Boo Bash from 6 p.m. till midnight for a fun evening of exclusive nighttime excitement. A candy bag to fill with sweet treats along the treat trails. Okay, so they're going to have trick-or-treating. An exclusive commemorative cup to... Oh, you get a cup! That's cool! To sip and celebrate the night in style. Free soda refills throughout the event!
I love that. Hey, I'm
Okay,
in.
you know what, Vash?
I'm in.
This is making that $129.99 price tag feel like it has value.
Right. Yeah,
When
absolutely.
I first saw that, I was like, $129, that's pretty steep. But like, if you're getting, because so the soda cup, the refillable soda cup on its own is probably about $25 that you could normally get to refill. And if they're giving you a commemorative cup and then giving you free soda refills throughout the night, I'm pretty sure that pays for it at that point. Complimentary themed kettle corn to snack. Get free kettle corn?
They got the snacks.
Yeah. Free complimentary themed kettle corn to snack on throughout the night. Access to immersive treat trails full of candy characters and surprises. Character experiences and lively dance parties. And access to select rides and attractions during the event, including the all-new Night Flight Expedition. That's big news right there, Vash. That Night Flight
That's
Expedition
massive.
will be open by then.
Yeah, and they're actually making it available on a party night. That's also a big a big thing to put on offer right here. $129, a little pricey. However, I will say only 3 nights right there. So demand obviously is part of that equation right there.
But honestly, they're
Probably
they're
gonna be very
like,
high.
I don't mind paying a little more than general park admission if you're getting a bunch of stuff.
Exactly. Do they actually list how long this event is for hours-wise? I may have messed up.
So you get it at 6 p.m. I think the event, and it goes until midnight. So I think the event itself probably goes from like 9 to midnight. Yeah.
Okay.
9 to midnight, but you can get in at 6 with the ticket. So you're getting 6 full hours in the park. Plus
That's pretty
all this,
good.
like, so look at this. Look, meet Harvey and all your favorite characters. I guess that's Harvey. I don't know much about Harvey.
More research needed on Harvey right there and
Yeah.
his status as a park icon. But I will say so Dollywood obviously is not that large, right? So 6 hours might feel like, oh wait, that's not necessarily as long as maybe some of these other events right here. It's not, but you gotta think the park isn't super large and with reduced capacity and for this event right here. Probably the line's going to be pretty short right here. So in terms of value, it actually is there, especially when you offer free kettle corn, trick-or-treating, the drinks and so forth. It's a pretty compelling value there, Marvin, and only 3 nights.
You also get the treats throughout the park, so there's trick-or-treating, dance parties, and it looks like you can actually dress in costume. Costume policy here is a all-ages family-friendly event. Guests can wear costumes during their visit. Here are the guidelines for all guests. The costume must be family-friendly while in the park. Park management has the right to refuse entry or remove from the property any costume deemed inappropriate for the family setting. That's good. Costumes with excessive gore, inappropriately revealing, or inappropriate language or imagery will not be permitted. Some costume pieces, including but not limited to capes, oversized items, and headwear, may need to be removed to partake in attractions. That makes sense. For guests 12 and under, costumes are welcome, including select costume masks. For everyone's safety, masks must allow clear, unobstructed peripheral vision and include openings so that the eyes are fully visible at all times. Now, for guests 13 and older, you're invited to join in the fun by dressing up, as long as costumes follow the guidelines below. Props or accessories that resemble real weapons are not allowed. Costumes should not include sharp or pointed elements that could unintentionally come into contact with others. Full body or heavily layered costumes are discouraged and may require additional screening. Costumes should not drag on the ground, for example, full-length gowns. Capes are permitted if they fall no lower than the waist. So if it's lower than the waist, no capes. Face masks or face coverings are not permitted for guests over the age of 13. That makes sense. That does make sense. Disney does that too.
Yeah.
Here's that kettle corn. Enjoy exclusive themed treats available during the event, including specialty sweets and complimentary themed kettle corn. Boo Bash merch. There will be exclusive limited edition Harvey's Boo Bash merchandise, including apparel, collectible keepsakes, and more available only during the event. Rides under the stars. You see like a jack-o'-lantern from Big Bear Mountain. Oh, look at that. That's pretty cool, too. Look at that guitar, like with the stuff there. Harvest Festival presented by Humana. Experience the magic of fall at Dollywood's Harvest Festival. Yeah, that's what's going on actually right now. So, Vash, looks like we've got a new player in the Halloween game when it comes to theme parks. Dollywood is making a splash for the first time ever, coming into the after-hours event world, I guess you could say. And, it's honestly, every other major theme park does it. It was only a matter of time. You got Disney, you got Universal, you got Knott's Berry Farm. You got Six Flags does it with Fright Fest. You've got SeaWorld and Busch Gardens do it with Hallow Scream. So, but honestly, Dollywood at Halloween, I've never experienced it before. I will say Dollywood is my favorite Christmas park.
Yeah.
It is gorgeous at Christmas time. Gorgeous.
Beautiful stuff right here. But like you said, Marvin, most of those other parks, right, when they put on these Halloween offerings, it's for adults or maybe older teens, right? In this way, doing it for families, I think there's a little bit of hole in the market that Dollywood's looking to fill, which is awesome.
Well, actually, because Disney is really the only one that does the family Halloween event. Most of the other ones, like from Fright Fest to Halloween Horror Nights to Hallow Scream to Knott's Scary Farm, it's all about the blood, the gore, the horror. Which there is 100% a market for that. But I think that doing this for families is really smart.
I like it. I like it.
Yep. Well, guys, there you have it. Go experience Dollywood this Halloween. And then again for Christmas, who knows what they've got planned for that. I do have a suggestion, though. Maybe a life-size gingerbread house, since nobody else is doing it anymore. If I get any more salty, I'm going to give myself a heart issue. All right.
Too much salt to take.
Yeah, oh my gosh, dude. I am so ridiculously angry. Still, like, that anger is not going to abate anytime soon.
I understand.
All right, we have got to... I got to queue up our next thing here. Okay, cool. All right, that's all queued up. Let me just check the chat real quick. Looks like we have got Thinking Heretic for $5. Didn't a witch live in the gingerbread house? Disney made a witch homeless. I thought they liked witches. No, a witch has never lived in that gingerbread house. I'm sure if Disney had the idea to put a witch in it, then we'd still have it.
Yeah, it'd still be with us. It'd be X.
But no one ever thought of it. This is a Christmas gingerbread house full of wholesome holiday wishes, and not a gingerbread house lorded over by a witch meant to lure children to their doom. So,
I Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah. I could not be angrier. I couldn't. I know I got to get over it. I got to get over it for the show. But man, like.
It's tough to see the erosion of this place that we all love. It's just like, oh, God, another thing lost forever. Great.
Mm-hmm. Well, Vash, we should move on to our next story because Disney is doing the thing it loves to do more than anything in the world, give itself an undeserved pat on the back.
There we go. One more for the top. Triple decker, just how you like it.
Wow, thanks, Mr. Walt.
You enjoy it.
We will.
In the wake of the success of Toy Story 5, Disney Imagineers are taking a little stroll around Toy Story Land at Hollywood Studios and taking a bow over how wonderful this land is. The only thing is this land actually as wonderful as they say it is? Let's talk about it today on That Park Place. Vash, Disney Imagineers, man, they love to talk about the wonderful job that they've done.
And so what we've tried to do is really bring that shape language from the architecture, but like, what we love to talk about at WDI is shape language. And we often refer to shape language.
There's such iconic shape language in Spaceship Reverie attraction. We really wanted to make sure that we fused to that throughout the space.
All the shape language. And where is their shape language more than Toy Story Land, Vash? It says the next time you walk through Toy Story Land, this is from WWNT, take a closer look at the toys holding everything together. Wed walks through Toy Story Land. Walt Disney Imagineering shared a behind-the-scenes look at Toy Story Land, revealing how real toys, hand-drawn crayon artwork, and clever hidden infrastructure help bring Andy's backyard to life at Hollywood Studios. Two lead Imagineers who worked on the project, Alexis, creative director, and Jillian, principal production designer, take viewers on a walkthrough tour as they pat themselves on the back and discuss some of their creative thinking and toy-inspired design choices that went into crafting the land. The video tour begins at the entrance of Toy Story Land, where guests are greeted by the 20-foot-tall Woody figure. According to the Imagineers, the oversized Woody serves to immediately establish the land's scale, reinforcing the guest-facing story that visitors in the land have been shrunk down to the size of a toy and placed among Andy's seemingly oversized backyard playsets. Now, guys, if you are a Toy Story 5 fan who is looking forward to this, going through this land here, you're not going to find any characters of note that you remember from Toy Story 5, with the exception of Jessie. Because Woody, Buzz, Rex, Ham, Potato Head, Slinky Dog, who they have an attraction based off of, are all completely not major factors in Toy Story 5. The aliens, who also have the other attraction, are not even in it at all. Bash, did you see Toy Story 5?
I haven't yet. I really do want to. Marvin, is it worth checking out?
No, it's a terrible film.
Really?
It's pretty awful. It's just so it is Jesse's movie 100%. Andrew Stanton's like, well, if you could believe it, Woody wasn't even in the original screenplay. I'm like, yeah, no, I can believe it after watching this movie.
That's fantastic.
Woody is utterly inconsequential to the plot. Like to the point where he's like not even there with them at the end. Like he is completely inconsequential to the plot. He does nothing to further the story whatsoever. He is only there to be there and be dunked on. Buzz does not have a single line in this entire movie that's not about Jessie. I honestly, I think this is the first movie to ever fail the reverse Bechdel test, where two male characters never have a conversation that's not about a woman.
Oh, that's an interesting.
Every line out of Buzz's mouth is about Jessie. Every motivation he has is wrapped up in Jessie.
I guess, and they were saying that was one of the selling points to get Taylor Swift on board, was that it was going to be a really feminine movie. This Toy Story 5 right there.
Yeah, well done. You how many people? I really want to know how many people they think came to see that movie because the end credits song was sung by Taylor Swift. Like, why wouldn't you just listen to the soundtrack on Spotify and then not see the movie?
they played it up in the marketing and promotion of the film. I'm sure there's a lot of people who
Mark Malkin. Mark Malkin at the premiere, it's the only thing he asked anybody. He forgot to ask about how gay it was because he was too busy asking everybody about Taylor Swift.
Yeah. What do you think about Taylor Swift's new song? Yeah.
Oh, I understand Taylor Swift has written a song for your movie. Tom Hanks is just like, yeah.
Thanks for.
What's it like? What's it like to breathe the same air as Taylor Swift?
It's fantastic right there. Yeah, so I mean, movie's gonna make a lot of money, and maybe this post right here, right, is coinciding with the search engine optimization, the requests, right, from Google and all of these different AIs who are looking up facts and everything about Toy Story. They want to go ahead and capitalize it with this post right here. I will say, Marvin, in terms of like, how many iterations of Toy Story Land have we had, all over the world? I think 4 now.
Something like that, yeah.
Attractions-wise, this is the strongest. But even theme-wise, I don't even think it's as good as Shanghai's, to be honest with you.
I don't hate Toy Story Land in Hollywood Studios at all. I mean, there's only one person I know who just like openly despises it.
Makes sense.
Culture is the only person I know that actually like just hates it. But it is entirely too small. It's way too cramped. They did not make enough seating when they first brought it out. So Woody's Lunchbox, which did actually have some good food, you weren't able to actually find a place to sit. They have since expanded the seating area, and Vash, you still can't find a place to sit.
Yeah.
There's also very little shade. Everything is exposed and in the sunlight. They just added a new shaded seating area, but again, it's very small because the land is very small, and you can't find a seat over there.
This was the first time that it became really apparent to me that Disney Imagineering had kind of lost their way a little bit because of the lack of thought that went into this land specifically, right? Like you said, lack of shade right there. Obviously, you got guys from California designing this whole thing, and it's like, dude, it's Florida. What are you doing? You had what is it, like, the one food stand available when this land officially opened. Now obviously we have the other barbecue eatery right there, and that was completely overwhelmed, and obviously there's no place to actually eat your food when you actually get it. Just an absolute mess. Even like the urinals, for example, I remember the story that everything was made for a kid, which is great until you actually get a grown man actually trying to use one, and well, now you have an issue with liquids going places that you don't want to actually go. So it's like all of these like little things stack up to a land that was honestly fairly mediocre outside of its attractions that are necessarily popular but aren't groundbreaking or whatever. And Marvin, that's on top of the fact that a lot of the theming elements that we originally got in the first concept art that we received for this land were actually stripped down almost entirely right there. So this land was budget cut and all of that, and it's just, I don't know, to showcase this and pat yourself on the back on this thing, it's like not that great.
It is. Toy Story Land is always crowded, but it's so small, right? And then you take a few steps in the other direction. You go to Galaxy's Edge, which is massive and has nothing in it.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much wasted space in Galaxy's Edge where there's just nothing. And no people. Because people don't go into Galaxy's Edge. People avoid it. People just walk past it.
Yep. Absolutely. They take that path alongside Black Spire Outpost and all of that, and they get to the other side, which was previously Muppets. Now obviously it'll be Monsters, so people will avoid it more. Fantastic.
Yep.
But
people are just going to avoid this park in total. But like Toy Story Land, people do go in there. Slinky Dog Dash always has a line. Toy Story Mania, even after all these years, still always has a line. There is a demand for this IP, but I honestly don't think that they should be patting themselves on the back for what they've done with this land, because it is entirely too small. The theming is fine, but you've crammed it into this tiny little area where it's impossible to actually enjoy a lot of the things that's there, like the big footprints in the ground, like the Andy sneaker prints that are in the ground. You can't get a picture of those or anything like that because people are all over it. There's never a calm spot to people sit up against the fence by Slinky Dog Dash on the ground periodically.
That's wild. That's crazy. But it speaks to, okay, well, if you have a franchise that people love, and even if you don't execute on that franchise, 100% right there, it could still be very popular, and so right, it has been. Now, I'll disagree with you just a little bit, Marvin. I think the theming is not as great, like I was saying, when compared to Shanghai. When you see Shanghai's Toy Story Land, yes, the attractions are not as good. However, when you look at the toy size kind of Western town that they actually have right there, I think the Bullseye, swinging ride is a little bit better placed than maybe perhaps the Buzz Lightyear themed or Little Green Man themed alien themed equivalent right there. I think all of those things make for a just better execution. So I don't really know why we're highlighting this specific version of the land outside of its maybe popularity, especially as you were so eloquently inputting, when compared to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah. I mean, look, at the end of the day, they needed Toy Story Land. It's one of I never questioned their decision to put in a Toy Story Land. It's just they didn't do it the way it needed to be done. They didn't give it enough space. They didn't give it enough love. They gave it some great attractions, and they gave it some great food. But they didn't give it enough shade. They didn't give it enough room, and because of that, it's a major traffic jam. It's a bottleneck in your day.
Yep.
And so,
and it's underwhelming for Toy Story fans. quite frankly.
100%. 100%. And it involves all the characters that they shoved to the side in Toy Story 5. I believe you could still meet Jessie as a meet and greet in Toy Story Land, which is fine. She's like the one important character from Toy Story 5 that's actually present in this land. Ham, Rex, Potato Head, and Slink are literally in a box in the garage for the entire movie. And Woody and Buzz are completely inconsequential to the plot and are only in there because it's a Toy Story movie. This is a Jessie and Bullseye movie.
Yay. Fantastic.
Yeah, right.
That's awesome.
So there you go. Give yourselves a pat on the back, Imagineer. You haven't earned it. All right, Vash. Ugh, my computer is running so slow right now. Let's have a look to see if we have. Oh, why did that not? StreamYard, could you cooperate with me a little bit here? Are you hearing me okay? Because my computer's all like herky jerky right now.
I'm hearing you just fine right there.
All right.
So, fortunately, audio is still being sent through. Hopefully, the computer doesn't continue to give you issues. But it's been a great show so far, and somebody actually said, Sparky Schultz over there in the chat, the Vash Splash. Well, I wouldn't necessarily call it that, but that's a name for it, I guess.
What is that a name for?
I guess that was a reference to the urinal situation there in Toy Story.
Oh, yeah, let's not call it that.
Let's not do that right there. But, pretty funny nonetheless.
Okay, I am. All right, let's. Man, my computer is like so slow right now. I can't do anything.
Oh, really?
Right. I think I've got. All right. I think I got it figured out. All right.
Mm-hmm.
No super chats that I can see right now. So Vash, I think it is time for us to get back to our big grand finale story of the week. Let's take a look. Vash, entertain the people for 2 minutes while I restart my computer, please.
No problem at all. I got you right there. Hey, if you're interested in Vash themed, I don't know, puns, accoutrement, whatever, well, hey, we got the show for you right there. Vash Sky Park Cast. It's going to be absolutely fantastic right there. Going over maybe some stories that you heard today, but a lot of stuff new. In fact, we've got new updates on the Wilderness Lodge AC issue right there. Perhaps that involves actually taking down the AC once again. Fantastic. That's just great right there. Also, too, Tiana's Bayou Blunder is what I'm calling it right here. Obviously, we covered it a little bit here on That Park Place, but I want to focus on what does the future hold for an attraction like Splash Mountain and how it could affect the entire industry with, a response actually coming from the company right there. It's going to be really, really interesting to go over the history of this specific attraction right here, specifically as it relates to restraints and all of that. Really, really cool stuff there indeed. Also, too, if you're looking for, let's see right here. I've got, Muppets. For some reason, it was down for a little while. Actually down for, I believe, 28 hours right there. Why was that? We'll go ahead and look into that. We talked about Epcot a little bit right here when it came to the World Showcase changes, but there have been other changes actually noticed by individuals right there that have really been interesting ones, and some people are actually speculating that more changes are coming when it comes to a fan favorite attraction like the American Adventure. That might not be good right there, so we'll go ahead and include those stories at Vash Sky Park Cast after this show right here, so stay tuned for the entire thing. You'll be redirected there as always. Also too, when it comes to the Vash Sky branding right there, I think it was 2 weeks ago maybe on the Vash Sky Park Cast, Go and Shogi actually cooked up a meal called the Big Vash Meal. It was pretty cool. It had a burger, donuts, a drink, chips. It was all that and more, so you can actually find that on my channel right there. That was a pretty fun time right there, because Go and Shogi, he whipped it up and found my love of just basically everything, including anime. That was pretty cool as well indeed. Freedom Seeker over here in the chat. Vash, that machine behind you could power the entire Pro network. I don't know about the entire Pro network, but it can power a significant amount of it right there. But even that has given me problems as of late. Dang it, Windows. So even if you do have the power, doesn't mean you have the software to unlock it, which is not fantastic. But you know what? We try to do the best we can right there. Look, you know, despite the issues, Marvin is a fantastic host right there. So, you know, we'll give him a little bit of time right there to reset things. There is no problem there. Let's see. Up to the gingerbread story. This is from B.A. Sykes here. That's a legit bummer. I took my older kids, youngers were a baby, not born yet, to the Grand Floridian, and they love the lobby, especially the cookies at the gingerbread house. Yeah, it's just really, really sad to see something like that be eroded like that. It's really interesting because you know, Marvin asked me, hey, are you going to cover this? And, you know, I think we are going to, but in a larger segment that involves just some of the changes in philosophy recently with Walt Disney World. You know, obviously we know about the travel restrictions as it relates to, you know, the bus depot over there at the Disney Springs location, but it goes beyond that, and even goes beyond the gingerbread house currently, although that is a symptom, I think, of this larger changing philosophy that Walt Disney World is currently experiencing as Jeff Valley exits from the presidential position. Really interesting stuff coming up very shortly. Marvin!
Thank you very much, Vash. I appreciate you holding down the fort. Let me just queue up our next story here. My computer is still like coming back to life, so everything is like...
All right.
There we go.
No problem at all right there.
Should be.
What you know, B.A. Sykes, some people in the chat right there, Marvin, sharing their experiences with that Grand Floridian gingerbread house. I mean, it really made an impact in so many people's lives, and well, going for 25 years straight, I think that would definitely have an effect.
It's definitely gonna have an effect, 100%. Oh, hey, just the Dutchie's here.
Hey, Miss Dutchie, thank you so much for coming on in. See Nicole Williams out there, James Shorter, Texas 8412 right there, Juliet. Yep. Fantastic.
All right, let's good lord. All right, let's get into our grand finale story. Is it just not going to play the clips anymore? Like, come on, stream. I just can't wait for 3 days of you and me. Disney is extending the Christmas season this year, the holiday season extending into January now. This actually might be a good move if it wasn't for the fact that they were completely and utterly destroying everything good about Disney at Christmas. Let's talk about it today on That Park Place. Vash, this comes to us from Attractions Magazine. Disney has announced plans to expand its holiday season this year for 2026, with the annual celebration now scheduled to run from November the 13th all the way, but November 13th, that feels like, yeah, all the way through January 6th, 2027. The extended season adds nearly a week of festive offerings after New Year's Day compared with last year's holiday calendar. It's saying, I think what they mean by November 13th is like that's where like it officially begins, but they're going to start decorating long before then. The holiday season at Walt Disney World is getting a little longer in 2026. Disney has announced that this year's celebration will begin November 13th and continue through January 6th. The resort near Orlando, Florida will pull out all the stops for Christmas 2026. Disney World will still stick to its to the hits, bringing back favorite events rather than introducing anything significantly new. But they are taking away some things. Officially, the holiday season at Disney World spans... Okay. Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party starts November the 8th, goes to December 22nd. Jollywood Nights, this is the biggie here, starts November 7th. The last Jollywood Nights, Vash, is January 5th.
Wow. Pretty late.
That's pretty crazy.
Indeed. That's
Yeah, Jollywood Nights after Christmas. Epcot Festival of the Holidays, as always, is a paltry... What is happening right now?
Looks like Hotels.com is looking to...
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Hotels.com. Yeah. Epcot Festival of the Holidays, November 27th through December 30th. Always a disservice done for the Festival of the Holidays. One of the best festivals that Epcot has for the year, Vash, but it is always gypped with the amount of time that it's given, because we have to extend International Food and Wine Festival into November for some stupid reason. So we get chipped out on the actual holiday festival. Most and a lot of people are blocked out for half of December. So you don't really get much in terms of Festival of the Holidays, especially if you're an annual pass holder. So included with park admission for Disney World's holiday season 2026, though 2 large-scale separately ticketed events headline Walt Disney World's 2026 holiday season, there's also plenty included with regular theme park admission. Families can skip the after-hours holiday parties and still find no shortage of seasonal offerings, well, maybe a little shortage. Decorations and festival experiences across resorts. One of the biggest holiday offerings included with park admission is the Epcot International Festival of the Holidays. The festival's signature experience, the Candlelight Processional, will be returning this year, where celebrity narrators tell the nativity story, accompanied by a live orchestra and mass choir. Disney has not announced the 2026 narrator lineup just yet, but throughout World Showcase, holiday storytellers share seasonal traditions from around the world. While special food and beverage offerings are available for purchase at the holiday kitchens, guests can also enjoy festive decor throughout the park, including the holiday light displays inside Living with the Land. So, yeah, there are plenty of things. Animal Kingdom will have the Merry Menagerie, which is where those Christmas puppets come around. Magic Kingdom usually has the Jingle Cruise, which is a holiday twist on the Jungle Cruise with all the holiday jokes. They also have the Frozen Holiday Wish, or Frozen Holiday Surprise, which is where they light the castle up. And in Hollywood Studios, they do projections mapped onto the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, giving a festive twist and awesome photo backdrop to an otherwise terrifying facade. That is actually pretty cool. I do like that they do that. They also have it snow right there on the street. So, yeah, quite a bit. There's big Christmas trees. And I've always loved Christmas at Walt Disney World. That's why things, like what we saw today, things like this really bug me, because the Grand Floridian Gingerbread House will not be returning this holiday season the way everyone thought it was going to be, which is a horrible travesty and, completely flying in the face of tradition and people's happy memories of Disney at Christmas. But Vash, an extra week of Christmas, what do you think about that?
Well, I think it's absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to go actually see the Castle Dreamlights over there at Magic Kingdom, and resort hop my way over to Disney Hollywood Studios, where I can see the Osborne Festival of Lights along with this Jollywood Nights. I think it's going to be absolutely spectacular.
Ooh, Vash, I hate to break it to you, but the Osborne Family Spectacle of Dancing Lights has been gone for nearly 10 years now.
Well, that's preposterous, Marvin. I can't believe they would actually do such a thing.
Well, don't worry. You
can
go to Magic Kingdom and see the festive dream lights adorning the castle, right? Oh, wait, no, you can't do that either. They stopped doing that, too.
I can't believe it. So that's the thing. I think.
Don't worry, Vash. You could still resort hop, see all of the great Christmas trees. Just go to Disney Springs and then hop a resort bus. Oh, wait, you can't do that anymore either.
This isn't feeling as magical as I was led to believe.
Right.
No, I think you hit it right on the head, Marvin, when you started this whole thing. In that, yes, they're extending out Christmas, but Christmas is becoming far more mediocre as time goes on. We lose stuff like Dreamlights, we lose stuff like Osborne Festival Lights, and we don't even have suitable replacements for them. I mean, couldn't have killed them to move Osborne Festival Lights maybe over to Epcot, which, I mean, apparently they did do for a couple of years in the past right there. Could it have killed them to restore something like the Castle Dreamlights that was so spectacular and really moved so many different people? No, we can't have any of these things. We can't even get a gingerbread house at the Grand Floridian. It's kind of
but Vash, it's okay. We've got a new holiday, hard ticket event that you could pay over $100 to go to called Jollywood Nights. That's specifically designed for Disney adults to dress up in Hollywood glam and buy expensive drinks, and then wait in line for characters for half the night.
Yeah, that's no good. Like the first Jollywood
Nights stinks. I've been to Jollywood Nights. It's not good.
Now, did you go the first year or the second year?
I think I went both. I know I went the first
Both?
year. I think I went the second year also.
Okay. Because the first year was like really bad in terms of operations, in terms of, everything that they put on, expected, all of that. Just a nightmare. Second year, it looked like things did improve, but Jollywood Nights, I think I agree with you, Marvin. Overall, it's a very mediocre event, especially for the high dollar amount that you actually pay, and that's just no good.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it is. So an extra week of it's like saying WWNT is a pretty permanent closure as well for the Gingerbread House. It's just a matter of time before Christmas trees are gone. You know, like
Yeah.
at what point, like the gift that you would get when you go into Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, that'll probably be gone at some point.
Sorry,
We're cutting
Marvin.
back on the cookies and hot cocoa. Oh, right.
Holiday trees. Holiday
The
trees.
holiday trees.
Let's be inclusive.
That's the other thing they started doing is they say holiday tree now.
Oh man, it's so funny because you're so spot on with cutting back of services and everything like that. There was a great pseudo documentary that was made a few years ago talking about Walt Disney World getting ready for the season. It was very impressive. All the stuff that they would actually include there and the setup that it actually took at not just the multiple parks but the multiple resorts and so forth. It was so cool. And yet, so much of that is it just no longer happens. I mean, that documentary is now woefully out of date because over half the stuff in there is not a thing anymore. Instead, we get Jollywood Nights, which is an extra hard-ticketed event.
You're a mean one, Jeff Valley. It's absolutely insane, dude. I can't I can't get excited for Christmas at the theme parks anymore. But I mean, Universal has great Christmas stuff. They don't do a hard ticket event, so all the Christmas stuff just happens during the day. So the Christmas parade happens. Nice. They do the Macy's they do the Macy's holiday parade. They have Earl the Squirrel, which is their Christmas original character who comes around, who's not connected to any kind of IP. And yeah, they do a whole bunch of stuff like that. Wouldn't it be amazing if Universal did a life-size gingerbread house this year?
Oh, that would be nice. I would.
That's like the kind of thing Universal would totally do. Just put a thumb in Disney's eye.
Yeah, do that. The Helios, right? You could do a Helios themed.
Helios had a beautiful Christmas tree last year. Last year, instead of going to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party the way we always did, my wife and I decided to go to Epic Universe for the day instead because we were like, it's actually cheaper to go to Epic Universe for an entire day than it is for the two of us to go to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, and it was beautifully decorated for Christmas. I think this year they were saying that it's going to be even more decorated, and I don't know if I don't know if there's going to be any kind of special nighttime show or anything like that. If they're going to do a special version of the fireworks show that they're rolling out over there at Epic, but we will see. I did hear that they were testing the fireworks just the other night for that show.
Yes, might have some video footage to show on that front too, which is really pretty cool. But Super Nintendo World might also get into the Christmas season. I know that's come to.
I would love it if it did that
Hollywood.
Because yeah, in Hollywood it always has Christmas overlay, and it doesn't really do that. In Disney, the thing I always said why I loved Christmas at Disney more than I loved Halloween was outside of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, it's only Halloween on Main Street USA. It's Christmas everywhere. Everywhere has decorations, and I love that in all four parks. Even in Animal Kingdom, where it probably doesn't really belong. There's quite a bit of Christmas everywhere. The only problem is Epcot. Epcot doesn't decorate for Christmas until almost the end of November because it's still got what do you call it? The festival of the International Food and Wine Festival, because they honestly start it earlier, end it earlier, and start the festival. You should be starting the festival of the holidays the first week of November, I think, and letting it go for 2 months because it's such a popular festival.
But it's really quite interesting how Disney has approached Christmas before. I think Walt Disney World, like you were saying, like to have so many vast areas of Walt Disney World actually done up for the Christmas season really does make it special. And maybe, Marvin, that's why people were opting to change their vacation plans. Hey, instead of going in the summer, let's go ahead and go in the winter, because previously, Marvin, Like when Disneyland first opened back in '55, they were told by Knott's, basically everybody forgets about Knott's Berry Farm during the Christmas time. Walt Disney didn't necessarily want that. That's why he had overlays on his attractions, for example, putting the big star on top of Matterhorn for all those years. It was really making it an event, and I think Walt Disney World really capitalized on that and really did those things to perfection for so long. But I will say, you guys don't get Christmas overlays for your attractions, which is very, very sad. So we have Haunted Mansion Holiday. We have go ahead, please.
You have Haunted Mansion Holiday. We have the Jingle Cruise, and they they had a special soundtrack for Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, and they do they do lights in Living with the Land. But you have more.
Well, yeah, we have a Small World Holiday, which is absolutely spectacular right there. Cars Land gets done up really in a big way for Christmas time as well. It does feel very, very magical, and one of the reasons for that might be because of our lack of a Christmas party. So kind of like Universal, a lot of those amenities are available for everybody, which is really, really cool. But even Disneyland's been slipping in recent years, and I've seen Knott's Berry Farm. They do a myriad of Christmas themed shows, which a lot of these parks don't actually do anymore. So it's just this constant diminishment right here. It's really, really sad, Marvin.
It is sad. It is. But now look, they're extending this out to January 6th. The only thing that they have in January up to January 6th is Jollywood Nights. They're not even extending the Festival of the Holidays into that first week of January.
Yeah.
Which I thought for sure they were going to do when I heard about this.
That's just a way to sell more tickets for that night, right?
And I thought that they were going to maybe give us one more post New Year's Very Merry Christmas party. No, they're not. This has been extended just for Jollywood Nights to get one more Jollywood Nights out of it.
Is it really that big of an event now?
It's not. I never hear anything positive about it. I mean, Disney adults love it. It's their thing. But again, it's an event that when I was there, there were parents with kids at that event, and they were like, "Oh, what are we doing?"
Is it possible that they're selling less tickets in order to increase value for the people who actually go there and spreading it out amongst more nights? Is that a possibility?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it is a boon for them to do more of these, because tickets to a hard ticket event, they do tend to sell out, and they count as regular admission. So it helps Disney at a time when it's trying to justify to shareholders how many people are in Walt Disney World, to be able to essentially count certain days twice.
Right.
In terms of how many people are in the parks. So
that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yep.
Maybe Disney Hollywood Studios is going to struggle this year, which it might because of Monsters.
Well, there you go, guys. Disney is extending Christmas by 1 week, but also chopping away at the Christmas season in the parks. So I guess enjoy it if you're going. Deck the halls. Enjoy your Christmas in the holidays. Just hopefully you weren't counting on seeing any kind of gingerbread house. All right, Vash, that's about all the time we have for today. I'm just checking the chat right now. I do not see any more super chats that we have not gotten to, so I think it's time for us to hit the old dusty trail. But you've got a show coming up, Vash Sky Parkcast. Please tell us what's going on that show.
Absolutely. We've got some fantastic news coverage for you. I described it a little bit earlier in the show, but again, we have some woman climbing up the exterior of Redwood Creek Challenge Trail where she's not actually supposed to be. Crazy stuff right there. We got video of it. That is wild. We obviously are going to be covering that Tiana's Bayou blunder right there with obviously the child who fell, but maybe that has implications for the entire industry at large and every single log flume that you love from here to Florida. So that's going to be interesting to go over right there. Really want to go ahead and deep dive and see what the repercussions of those things are. We've got massive changes at Epcot, changes to how Disney actually accounts for queue times, which is very, very interesting, and Muppets down for a while, 28 hours, Marvin. Why was that? We'll explore all of that more next on Vash Sky Parkcast, coming up after that Park
Awesome.
Place.
You guys are gonna be automatically redirected over there, so you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to click anything. You just have to sit tight, and you'll be sent directly over to Vash Sky Parkcast. For me, guys, over at the M4 Empire, please check out my interview that I did the other day on Culture Crossfire. Real Life Fake Wizard and I interviewed the one and only Dean Cain on the show. So we will be, that interview went spectacularly well. We're going to be posting a clip of that also very soon. And check out M4 Cast tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And tonight on that Game Place, the plan is at midnight, I am going to go live with Star Fox, the brand new Star Fox for Nintendo Switch 2. So make sure you check that out. We'll see you then, guys. Thank you very much. And make sure to like, share, and subscribe to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.